Greetings, fellow geeks and gamers. Oh, hold on. Greetings, fellow geeks and gamers. It sleeps in the day. Here we're going to be playing some Phantasy Star 2. I don't have a whole lot to say. Last time we got a hover bike, or not hover bike, but hover. What do they call it? I don't remember. Hover something. Um. Uh. Yeah, whatever it was called, I don't know. And then, so that was in the trash town of Roran. Jet scooter. Sorry, not jet bike, jet scooter. So next, we have what? Cool weighted query. So next we have, what is next? Is it the little island? Uzo? I think Uzo's next. Da, 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 da. Okay. Let's get into this. And hopefully I'm in the right spot. Do 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 do. Ba da 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 ba da 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 da. Oh, Shear's about to level up. We brought Shear with us? Am I just leveling Shear up? Why do I have Shear with me? I mean, Shear's good, don't get me wrong. I just don't know why I have... I thought I was just using, what did we name him? His name's normally Hugh. What did we name him? Will. I thought I had Will on the team. Yeah, my guess is that we just brought her in order to level her up. We do have foil already. I hate that the boomerang only hits creatures in the same group. And I'm not saying that's not fair, but it is annoying. Do 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 do. We're getting people armor though, right? Because like everyone's got weapons, but nobody has any upgrades on their armor yet. Where's the hospital? That's a trade. Trade transfer. There it is. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing, right? We're getting people. We're getting money to get everyone the armors they needed because I've done Roar and next is Uzo. Yep, okay. And then we'll find out about opening these dams to get all that stuff out of there, that gunk that's there in the middle. We'll let it pour down those chutes and then we'll go to climate troll. And I don't remember what's after that. That's the last of what I remember immediately off the top of my head. I will have to look at the guide after that. Of course, the game will tell me what we're doing to an extent. So it won't be quite as bad as I make that sound. Sure, gains a level. I'm not surprised. You're like level 7. It is hard to kind of figure out how to equal level everyone because you get so many characters in this. Ew, it's the brain rot. Head rot. I keep calling him brain rot. Burn it with fire. Ooh, that does even more than I realized it was going to. That was crazy. I definitely don't need to go to that extreme. But that's okay. There's nothing wrong with going a little extreme every now and then when you don't need to. It just means that we're ahead of the game, right? We're just prepared. Dun 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 dun. Owie. We gotta beat it up a little. No one caught that. Oh no, that's a wild. It just showed up. What's a wild? What's Hatina? Which one's Hatina? Hatina. Do 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 do. Yeah, that's a good route to get to the hospital. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Bump, bump, bum, 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 bum. I should have leveled up off screen again like I did last time. Of course, last time I did that, we also ran into a save issue, so we end up skipping a whole week anyways. Well, that wouldn't happen twice, right? That would just be ridiculous. Now I have to figure out what qualifies for my nostalgia gaming. Like, obviously this one's fine. This one's as old as I am. But like, there's other games, like Bloodborne's 10 years old. Does that count as nostalgia gaming? Or like Dark Souls or Demon Souls, if I wanted to play Demon Souls again. That's only, I mean, that's like what, 15? No, it's longer than that. Oh yeah, I guess that one will definitely technically fall to nostalgia game if I played it. It doesn't have quite the look of a nostalgia game, but like Demon Souls is old enough that it would fall into that category, I guess. Which is, ugh, true, but ugh. I think it's funny because we don't question it with like Legend of Zelda or things like that. But some of those ones that we play as nostalgia from like Legend of Zelda aren't that much older. But they hit that nostalgia in our brain different because it feels like it was older. Because, you know, it was from a point where more stuff. So, you know, the reason parts of our lives, especially our youth, feel longer is because we don't have as much time during them to compare. So, like, whenever I'm 10 years old, 1 year is 10% of my life. And so it's a much larger percent. Now that I'm 36, it takes 3 years to get the same percentage of my health. My life. So 1/3 of a year. Well, we're almost to the point where 3 months is the same as a year for percentage of my life, which is why it seems so much faster, is because the same amount of time comparable to my life experiences is so much different percentage of the life I've lived. Bro has so much defense. Like, I don't even think he has that much health. We just only, I mean, he does have a decent amount, but even my guys are hitting like 40 and others are hitting 10 there. Hello, Mr. Wolfang. It's like Kilada from Inuyasha. That's what it reminds me of every time I see it. Inuyasha. What was the name of the demon hunter who was Kilada's partner? Shoot, I don't even remember some of the other basic characters, like Wolf Boy. I remember Inuyasha's name. I remember Shishomaru. I remember Moroku. Who else? Gosh, my brain is just not retaining these names anymore. Like, man, I don't remember a lot of characters' names. I don't remember. Is it Kagome? Or is it Kukome? And then there's Kikyo. Who else was there? Who are the other characters? Like, I can remember what a lot of characters are that I don't remember the name of. You know, there's the ninja who's Kirada's partner, who is a demon hunter and fights with a giant boomerang. There's the guy who is a wolf demon with dark hair that keeps saying he's going to take Kagome as his wife. There's the mountain goblin. That's not quite the right term. That was Shishomaru's retainer. The little girl that was the Shishomaru. There was the half demon who was made up of a bunch of demons thanks to the Shikon jewels. That was like the main villain. I remember a spider demon. Whoops. Who else was there? I remember the blacksmith who made Tetsaiga and Tenseiga from Inuyasha's and Shishomaru's father's teeth. But yeah, there's a lot of characters I just cannot, for the life of me, come up with the names for. And most of them are, even main cast, like the little fox kid, or I guess he was a Tanuki kid. I don't remember. Man, it's been so long since I've watched Inuyasha. So long. Oh my gosh. Like, the more I'm thinking of it, the more I don't remember. I remember him kind of finally learning how to use Tetsaiga. Like, training with Kirara to understand how to sense the wind scar. I remember him learning to do the thing that cuts through spiritual barriers with the red blade. I remember his demon blood form where he had like blades of blood and iron claw and whatnot. Man, it's just been so long. I just haven't even thought of Inuyasha in so long. It's funny to say that, well, playing a game that's so much older, What anime were out whenever this was out? I know Dragon Ball would have been around. Probably Yu Yu Hakusho. Well, I wonder what anime were popular the year this came out, actually. Popular anime, 1989. Ranma, Dragon Ball Z, Kiki's Delivery, Patlabor. Oh my gosh, Patlabor. I want to watch Patlabor again. Patlabor has a game, doesn't it? Does Patlabor have a game? War in the Pocket came out in 89? That's crazy. I didn't realize that. Oh wow, Patlabor has like a recent-ish game. Hold on. Now I have to look at this. Patlabor, the case files. Relive iconic scenes from Mobile Police Patlabor and its in this 3D console action game. Experience dual perspectives, main missions as SV2 and another side mission as the rivals. Hone your pilot skills in simulator mode, featuring shooting ranges and labor duels. Oh, it's not out yet. Wow, funny how I'm just thinking of it and it's apparently about to come out with a game. That's cool. I feel like Patlabor has like in my opinion, sweet spot for the size of mechs. Because like I feel like Gundam, they're a little bit big. I feel like Armored Core, it depends on the series. Like the original Armored Core, they're not as bad, but like we get into Ravens and in the more modern ones, and they're a little bit too big for my taste. And then on the other side, I feel like the mechs in Ghost in the Shell, which I mean, there's not really a lot, but they are a little bit too small for my taste. Cheers! Thank you for the drink.
I didn't ask how big the room was. I didn't ask if we had finished evacuating the orphans. I said I cast Fireball.
So yeah, I feel like for me, Patlabor has like the sweet spot for the size of mechs. When is this supposed to come out? It just says later this year. What is later this year supposed to be? Patlabor case files release date. March. What? It is set for release PS5 and PC. While listed as coming soon, the announcement coincided with the 2026 time frame for the new franchise content. What? Excuse me? They're coming out with new Whoa, there's a new anime coming out? Excuse me? Okay, that's exciting. How am I only just now finding out about this? I had to post it in the Mecha Mondays since we're all, mecha freaks there. Mecha nerds. I'm trying to get GB3, and obviously I've been trying to get Bloodborne to work for stream. I would also... and I got paralyzed. I'd also love to play GB and GB2. Though those I don't think have English translations, which is fine. I just don't... I'm not fluent in Japanese. I would be struggling the whole time to understand what's actually going on. I'd have to see. Maybe there's fan patches for it. Because I would definitely be emulating the PS3. I'm not going to try to get my PS3 to work. Fido. I think that's such a stupid Pokemon. Right. Let's order, share, boy. Fight. We need maximum damage out of Sheer. Any extra oomph we can get from her. I say as it's no longer relevant. Ooh, that almost killed her. Do 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 do. Goodbye, you silly little bread dog. Huh, they bred that dog. Ha. Knee slapper. Get it? Because it's a dog made out of bread. I know. Comic genius. Do 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 do. I like how she just walks up with the ice pick grip and goes, "Hiya! Die, bug!" Die, Terrakite! There we go. Also, who have I think I've upgraded Shear's armor. Does this tell me what's in their armor slot? No. Fiber coat shoes. I don't think that's the best in slot. Titanium chest is what we can get him. So let's see if we can afford the titanium chest. Also, I feel like shoes isn't the best thing either. I feel like we can upgrade his boots, and we just haven't. You can't use that, no. Okay. What did the rest have on, boots-wise? Nay has on sandals. Anna has on boots. Sheer has on boots. Can't use that. Okay, she can use that. Hi, Fly. How are you doing today? Can't use that. So just Anna. Okay, that's fine. Well, we can still get Anna upgraded some. Equip Anna. Long boots. It's a process. Leveling up is a process. So we want to get rid of the worst thing for a better thing, piece by piece. Do 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 do. I have no complaints. Had a nice good nap today. Just getting in on this. Found out today that Patlabor is going to have a a revive, I guess, a new anime and a new video game for Patlabor, and that excites me. I'm definitely going to have to look into those whenever they come out. If you're not familiar with Patlabor, it's a mecha series about police officers. The police use mecha. So do the enemy. The criminals use mechs. So I'm excited, especially since we've been doing Mecha Mondays and whatnot. You know, I just realized I could have given those boots potentially to someone else. That's fine. Nay can have the knife boots. We get those from another town. Bum 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 bum. I'm not sure if you're like what sort of genres you watch and what sort of mediums you watch. So I don't know if you're a fan of anime, and I don't know, or if you know like Western animation. The game. Yeah, that's old school, man. They used to always do this in role playing games. Even like Final Fantasy had this a lot. That or they would have the one character on top, but like Final Fantasy 7 and 8, they definitely walked all in a line. And 9. I don't remember. I think they may have switched mostly back to one character representing the whole party in 10. 11 was an MMO. 12 was a different type of game. 13 was the full party walking in a line. 14's an MMO. 15 they walk together, but it's not all in a line. Do I need any of these other things while I'm here? Titanium, knife boot. So this isn't where I want to get my stuff. I wish you'd been here for any of the character introductions, because whenever you add them to your team, they all have this little cutscene where you get to see them. So they have really cool little like character portraits that you only get to see a couple times throughout the whole game. The purple character there, Nay, is the one that annoys me the most. I love her. She's my favorite character. But the way they design her is so weird in this. Because there's no consistency between the sprites. I've complained about this multiple times, but so her overworld sprite, she has cat ears, right? Her back sprite for whenever you're in a fight has like antenna, and then her the sprite that is the profile picture or whatever are she has elf ears. So like they aren't consistent with their character design. Hunter x Hunter is good. Which version? I mean, I like both. I'm just curious. Which version of Hunter x Hunter have you watched? The newer one that goes all the way to the past the Chimera ants, or the old one that ends on Greed Island? Because like they made it, and then the first one ends on Greed Island, and then they remastered it, and the newer one goes all the way to the World Tree arc. Though I feel like the World Tree arc after the Chimera ants was kind of fine. The older one, that's cool. Cool. I like the art direction better in the old one, but I think the art techniques used in the modern one really make such a difference that it kind of balances out to the point where I don't mind that the new one looks a little different. I do think some of the characters do look quite a bit better in the newer one, though. Like, my brain can't come up with character names. Some of the butlers, some of Killua's butlers, though. Oh, I guess the World Tree doesn't happen right after Chimera Ants. First we get Nanami's story, which I love. Nanami, that part's good. Have you ever watched Gundam? Are you versed at all in that universe of, well, multiverse, I guess, of animes? Because like there's the Universal Century, which is the base series, like Mobile Suit Gundam and Zeta and MS 08th MS Team and 0080, War in the Pocket and Stardust Memories and all of that. Nope, heard of it. It's a robot things. Yeah, it's giant mecha. Unicorn, whatnot. I just had to ask about that one because a lot of people who don't know mecha anime are still have seen some version of Gundam often. Like in the United States, which I know a lot of people in the United States have seen Gundam Wing, even if they haven't watched all the others because that was on Toonami. I don't know. So, do you like shows that are about politics of war, child soldiers, and and guerrilla war tactics and things like that. If you like that sort of thing, I would say, yeah, watch, especially the original one, watch it. Or if you want ones that are like super political, some of the OVAs and movies are amazing for that. If you like a shonen style anime, they also have both G-Quux and Witch from Mercury, which are completely different from the, well, they're not completely different from the rest, but they're different from the rest. Um, but if that's not your sort of thing, no, I don't recommend it. And I don't think just I hate when people, and I'm not saying this bad about you. This is a general statement that I hate when people ask, "Do you recommend?" Sure, it's definitely, if you're used to modern animation, just know that it was made in the 70s. I say with some amount of confidence. When was the original Gundam? Mobile Suit Gundam. No, just Mobile Suit Gundam, thank you. Mobile Suit Gundam, 1979. So its art and animation is a little rough at times. But it does have a really good, again, like I said, guerrilla warfare, child soldiers, like it's the horrors of war type of story with a lot of politics in it. It's a little bit of a refugee survival story, because like, without spoiling anything. Oof, when I mean that, I just meant I'm not cultured enough with like. No, 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 no. The reason I don't like that question, would you recommend this anime, is I can't recommend an anime based on a generic, I like this anime, right? Like, um, because people like different things. Like, do you like romance? If you like romance, I can name animes that have good romance in them, right? Do you like horror? I can name animes that have good horror of different varieties. Do you like mysteries? I can tell you ones with mysteries. Do you like westerns? There's even ones that kind of have the same feel as westerns. But like, just whenever the question of would you recommend this anime, I can never just say yes. Because there's so many variables in recommending any type of show. That's not just anime. That's shows in general. And so that's the reason I personally am not a huge fan whenever I get asked that. And again, it's not you specifically, it's everyone who asks that question. And it's just simply that question is too broad to answer directly. Would I recommend this? Only if you like these things, you know? So. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So yeah, don't feel like you were wrong to just ask that question. I just can't answer that question, like would I recommend this, without more context of what sort of things you enjoy, what sort of media, what sort of books, what sort of genres that you're a fan of. And then if I know that, then I can tell you, yeah, I would or would not recommend this. Like I said, because like Gundam is a story, all of them to some a level, whether it's the shonen ones or not, is about children soldiers. That is the biggest theme throughout Gundam, except for G Gundam. I think G Gundam is the only one that does not have a subplot of child soldiers. Um, and so it's, you know, because it's written by the Japanese. It's the 1979 is when it was animated, but not when the manga was written. It's let's see. Mobile Suit Gundam manga release. The manga came out. Uh, what, 1976 was when the first thing, and then we got the manga in, oh, same year as the anime, so 79. Okay. Um and like again, without spoiling anything about the series in case you do go into it, a civilian uh is so Earth, this is post Earth type of world. People still live on Earth, but we're at the point where we realize Earth has limited resources, and so we are expanding into space onto space stations. People being born in space are evolving. Whether it's better or worse is kind of a plot point. There's a lot of racism towards space noids, which are people who are born in space, or vice versa, space noids being racist towards Earthlings. Anyways, a colony is attacked by Xeon, which are the space noid. I'm going to say a word that might get me in trouble on Twitch, but Xeon is Nazis in a very direct. There's a lot of direct correlation made to the iconography and whatnot of the German Nationalist Party of. No, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Um, but it's direct iconography, so it's like this isn't one of those things. Yeah, we are chill. No, I know it won't literally get me in trouble. It was, but again, there's very direct, like there are characters who are they dress like shock soldiers or shock troopers, the SS. Um the greeting, the way they introduce themselves to each other in Xeon is to Sieg Xeon, so like, hail Xeon, essentially. So it's a very direct iconography. Anyways, so they attack a location that has a new weapon, a prototype weapon that they're worried about, and they're already discussing having a war with the Earth Federation. And so this whole thing takes place when a civilian happens to be in the wrong place whenever this is occurring. He happens to be where the prototype is being held, and so in order to save himself, he gets in the prototype and saves himself, right? So he uses this weapon against enemy soldiers, and he kills them. And then he escapes with the military, and so there's a bunch of civilians on this military. Essentially, think of a naval base, but in space, right? So it's like they're on a space ship that is big enough to house mobile suits, which are the giant robots, fighter jets, the equivalent, the space jets. It's that sort of base, and there's a bunch of civilians, and they're just trying to escape because this colony they'd been living on was attacked, and they're just trying to get to safety. At least this is how it begins. And so the story is of these civilians, and the one that was in the prototype, that jumped in the prototype, he is a child. I think he's like 14 or 15 at the beginning of the series. And because of factors which I won't go into, he's good at using it. He's able to do stuff with the machine that others can't. And so he keeps getting forced while they're retreating to use this weapon to survive, right? So it's this child being forced into a war situation in order to survive. And so it even goes into like the psychology of it. Like there's a point where he's starting to like killing. That's a strong way to word it, but like and they have to like one of the actual soldiers essentially walks up and smacks him and says, "No, you're idiot, you're going to become a soldier like this. You don't want that." Like they break it down, they go full into like all of the mental stress that can happen to a child soldier. They talk about the stress of the military having to defend civilians. So if you like a realistic look at war but with super robot fantasy on top of it, I think it's really good. And that's where my recommendation, yes or no, would go, is if that sort of story sounds compelling to you. But if you don't want to hear about the story of children soldiers and stuff, I say don't watch it, because that's what the series is about. If you want to watch giant robots that are done with just adult, I guess there's also 08th MS Team, which isn't really about child soldiers either. But anyways, if you want to watch series about robots that aren't like that, again, there's Pat Labor, which is about a police force and criminals using giant robots. And it's about the same time. There's Macross. Macross is another war one, but it's like Air Force essentially. They're the people in the Air Force that are in this, and it's more of your glamorized war stories, like what you get in some of your American stories and whatnot, like you get out of like some of the American war stories movies. I mean, so yeah, if you're interested in giant robots and you have a genre you like, if you like fantasy, by the way, and giant robots, I can name 2 different series that are fantasy giant robots. There's Knights and Magic, and there is oh my gosh, I just forgot the name of that series. What is this series with the gays? Code Geass. Geass. Yeah, Code Geass. That's the one I'm thinking of. And Knights and Magic. So if you like magic fantasy things and giant robots, those series are really good for that. I will say Knights and Magic is a little bit more isekai modern style, because like it's about a nerd who dies and is reborn in a world where there's magic, and that magic is used to make robots. Yeah, for sure. One thing, okay, I don't know if you've been in here anytime I've talked about this. One of the things I wanted to build my channel around is sharing knowledge. In fact, whenever I was going to focus on making YouTube and not streaming, I wanted to do a whole lot of research before I did a recording, right? And so, like, say I was playing Phantasy Star like I am right now, I would talk about the real world concerns that are being translated into the story, right? So, like, this takes place in a world where there was a dictator. The first game in the series involves a dictator who has killed the main character's sibling, and so she's out to do stuff to kind of end the tyranny. He is a full tyrannical dictator. He's not just a dictator. And I wanted to correlate that with the... Okay, yeah. And I've done that for some amount too, like all the stuff. I just haven't done as thorough of an in-depth thing as I had originally planned. Like I also wanted to talk about like the development history of the different games. So yeah. And thank you. I'm glad you think that's cool. And so yeah. Anytime you have any question, if I have knowledge about it, I will give you as in-depth of an answer as I possibly can, because I do care about that. And I am almost to the point where I'm going to start doing that, even though I said at one point I was going to do that. I've been working on my editing skills. I use DaVinci. What's it called? Yeah, for sure. DaVinci. What is the name of my editing program? Anyways, I have an editing program that I've been learning and getting better with. And so I will be putting out YouTube videos soon. Though right now, most of them are going to be edited streams. Maybe with voiceover, though. I've always been like audio editing, I know how to do. I've recorded music before. I know how to use different programs like Audacity and Audacity was the first one I used. My brain is forgetting the names of the dang programs I use. Creativity. Oop, that's not what I wanted to hit. Creativity. No. Muse Score, Audacity, things like that are different ones that I've slowly worked towards learning, and so I'll be putting out videos soon trademark. But yeah, so that's something I've been working on. I spend a lot of time at night learning. I practice a lot of art too, like all my pixel art stuff. But I'm also working on learning, like really getting where I'm confident with my editing enough to put out a video. I don't need perfection, by the way, but I need it to be good enough that people can watch it, and it be coherent and not just a rambling like what happens on my streams. And the streams are fine. I don't have any qualms with me rambling on stream. But if I'm going to put out content, I need it to be cohesive and easy to parse as you're watching it or listening to it. I had talked about this years ago, and I don't know if I have people to do it with me anymore. I did in the past, but I would also love to do like a podcast about this stuff, like history of gaming and things like that. But enough about all of that, unless there's any questions. How has your studies been recently, Fly? I haven't talked to you about your studies in a little bit. How have you been doing on that? Thank you, Sonic the Phantasm. Are we the Phantasm as in Fate, or are we a different Phantasm? Anyways, welcome to the Geek and Gamer Army. Enjoy those free follower emotes, and I hope you enjoy what you see here. 20 more days, rest a little. Nice. How long of a break do you get? Lover, Mr. Lover. Okay. I love that answer. So I preach this a lot in personal life. That sort of thought process of learning. Gotcha. All right. Let me reword it then. How long of a break from stress do you have before you're going to get back to the point where you're having to be in crunch mode? Are you going to be like several months of more relaxed learning, or is it going to be more like only a couple weeks until you're back in the thick of it? Is that a better question, I suppose? I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be going right now. I think I have the levels, though. Yeah, okay. So we can go... Let's Ryuka back here real quick. Heal one more time. A few months, hopefully not, because I hope I get better. Okay. A few months definitely can be a chunk of time. 4 years, that's... Okay. No, that's awesome. What town am I in? Can you tell me what town I'm in, lady? No. Can you tell me what town I'm in? No. Will you tell me what town I'm in? Someone. Someone has to be here who can tell me what town I'm in. May have seen such a name on the boarding list on that lost spaceship. Used to believe in traveling in space was not dangerous at all. Oh no, humans. Rude. I mean, we are on your planet, but rude? Do you know that it is impossible to travel to outer space now? Town Piata. Okay, we are in Piata. Okay. I'm not quite up to level. That's interesting. Okay, well, that's okay. We're gonna go... revamp our team a little. Where is the teleport? Here it is. No, that's not the teleport. That's the save point. We might as well save while we're here, though. Oh no! Oh, well, Fly appears to have a subscription right now, so I guess you can still hear me. I think work ethic can get you far in life if you're applying it in the right places. I think part of the problem we run into, though, is applying your work ethic and assuming that will be all you need. I'm not saying you're going to have that issue, so don't misinterpret that. I think we have to always understand that a good work ethic is important, but that being in a position to know when to use it versus when to take care of yourself is something that a lot of us forget to do. Because we are not infallible creatures, us humans, and if we commit too heavily, there's a good chance that we just ruin ourselves. And so a good work ethic is a good thing. But overcommitting to a work ethic can also lead to causing yourself to have a much worse time. And so I hope you approach life understanding that yes, a good work ethic will get you far, but that you also still need to take care of yourself. And mentally especially. Which I know I just sound like some old man talking about stuff, but legitimately, that's something that I feel like a lot of times people don't think about enough. Because, like, yeah, you can have all these good things happening for you, but it doesn't matter if it causes you to become unwell. And so just always remember that. It's like work ethic, super important. It'll get you far. Taking care of yourself and keeping alive will get you further because you can't keep working if you're dead. And believe you me, I have absolutely burnt myself out before. I am definitely not one to talk in specific ways. Hi, I'm working on inventing a new kind of gum. Do you know what marua leaves are? Let's just say no. There are marua trees. There is a maruera tree on an island in the sea. The leaves on that tree produce a large amount of oxygen. I want to use the leaves to make a special gum that lets you breathe underwater. I need some of those leaves. If you find any, let me know. There we go. That's the last hint I need. That's something I found out. I remember my first fight in boxing. I prepared so good, but my mind was not prepared. Yeah, exactly. So it's funny because I wasn't even thinking of that from the point of view of fighting, but I can also agree to that because I used to do kendo and I used to do taekwondo. I also did some other martial arts, but I didn't compete in any of the others. And like putting in the practice and learning the moves only gets you so far. You still have to be able to execute, which is definitely, again, work ethic only brings you so far. The rest is taking care of yourself well enough to execute on everything afterwards. So yeah, that's a good point of view into that sentiment. That's a good spot to be thinking about it from, even if I wasn't. So yeah, great point. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If it's not rude of me, may I ask what? Not a specific. I don't want you to like accidentally dox yourself or anything like that. But what age range are you in? Are you late 20s, early 20s? Like I'm in my mid to late 30s. I've said how old I am before because I've celebrated my birthday on stream. I will be 37 this year. And I have to say, I think my generation and more so the next generation and the one after that, Gen Z and Gen Alpha, are doing really good at finally really understanding and taking care of themselves, and not letting work ethic be the only thing that they're worried about. And so, like, that's something I'm glad people are figuring out. Okay, late teens, gotcha. Very good. So you are exactly the generation I'm specifically thinking of that are starting to learn that very lesson. So yeah, you're in a perfect spot to make that realization and part of your life. Because again, you're absolutely nope. Um, you're absolutely right that you want to be. Where's this tree? Oh, Reptimus just went live. Let me pull him up. Because you want to find that nice balance of taking care of yourself and taking care of what needs to get done. And I'm so proud of the next generations. I'm so proud of you and the people your age and how well you guys are adjusting to everything. It's such a nice thing to see. And I hope that millennials and Gen Z can help you guys and Gen Alpha be as successful as you're ever able to be. Because that's one thing. This sounds really rude, and it is, but I felt like my generation were given all the expectations without giving all of the help that we needed. And I hope that we're doing better and giving your generation both the expectations and the assistance you guys need. And if not, I hope you guys kick our asses for it. I have nibbling. Oh, there's a high rocky mountain in front of. Seems to be nothing. Here it is. Found it. I knew Uso was over here somewhere. Alright, where's my map? Alright, we started here. I want to go to the right. Okay. I was going the correct way. I do remember stuff. Catman. And glow stick. Oh, I thought you guys were technically Gen Alpha. You must be the very tail end of Gen Z then. I still stand by what I say. I hope that we millennials have been giving you guys the stuff that you need and not just expeditions. And yeah, everyone's going to do the best under the circumstances they're given, even people who are given the rotten hand. But if people can help the next generation not have that issue, not have issues, that's what we should be doing. So I hope that in any chance that we're given, my generation and a little bit, though it doesn't happen as often, the generation before us can give you the age you need to make you help you guys be successful. So, what are you? I haven't even looked. What techniques is sheer learning? Oh, you know Ryuka and Hinas as well. Nice. Good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Because if that wasn't the case, you know, us random people on the internet, we aren't really exactly the substitute, but we can always be used as a resource, and help however we can. And I know you know that. I know you've like talked to Kat about different things and that she's been really supportive and you've been in here and I've tried to be supportive. So, yeah. Because, you know, we can't make the world a better place if we're not all willing to help each other out. Hippie shit and whatnot. What bees over here? Yeah, I'm like in the middle of the millennial. I guess I'm towards the later part of the millennial. No, I'm in the middle. I'm like right in the middle. Born in '89. Gosh, you were born, or yeah, let's see. If you're about to be 18, you were born the year I graduated high school. That's funny. That's cool. Ah, hold on. Nope, I did something wrong there. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad to help make your day a little bit brighter. I love that. So my youngest nibbling is 2 years older than you. But to be fair, my youngest sister is 13 years older than me. I was not paying attention. Sheer is almost dead. Oh my gosh. No. No, 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 no. That was not you who I was looking at the map, not the game. It was not you who distracted me off of what I was doing there. My oldest sister is 16 years older than me. I had a younger brother. He was a year and a half younger than me. I don't have him anymore, unfortunately, which is why we have the donations for the Trevor Project as the donos goal right now. And then I had like a special event planned out last month, and I didn't stream for a couple days last month because of stuff with that. But you know, life happens. I appreciate it. Wait, this is not the town. Why are we back here? Oh, did I not go to the save point in the other town? Ugh. Or maybe there wasn't a save point in the other town. That'd be funny if that's the reason, and I just didn't realize it. Wait. Okay. Nope, we're good. Here we go. For a second, I thought I somehow teleported to the place I already was, even though you can't do that. Well, hello, troublemaker. Hello, little troublemaker. The office was invaded by a corgi. Maverick had to come in and go to his trailer. He wanted to hang out in here. Alright, let's try this again. Right, so we want to go up and right still. That part was correct. Corgi Jack? Yeah, something like that. He is the Devo. Okay, up, left, then up twice. Oh, come on. That's fine. I guess this does distribute the damage better. Oh, but she didn't kill, so it was, yeah. I bet that's what nearly killed Sheer before, was that attack that I hadn't noticed. These glow sticks are kind of tough. There we go. Okay. Left, up, slight pivot right, and then up. Ba-doop. And then left. And then down. And then up. And then left. Okay. Oh, that's fine. I meant to go in and use techniques, but brain not working. Alrighty, you have a wonderful time. Enjoy. And thank you for the lurk. And thank you for hanging out for a little while. Big love, Fly. Right. Up. Left. Down. Right. Die, Catman. Ooh. Those Catman sure look like cat ladies. Right. Now I've lost track of where I was. I need to go right. And then down here. Over here. Down here. Right. As straight of a line as possible until we get to the next up. Oh, this is ridiculous. Strategy. Order. Rolf. Let's give Foy some stuff here. I should have probably used raw Foy there. That's okay. Yeah, I should have. Alright, we should be able to just attack now. There we go. I do not like how no one has a stronger version of Resta. Okay. Yep, there we go. And then this leads up here. There's water below me. Yep. Okay. Go up this way. We don't have any other routes at the moment. Do I want to go 6A? I do not. So we're not going to bother with that. Alright, let's see if we can burn this forest down. Okay, so she is definitely less effective with that. Ow. There we go. That worked out really well. Resta Wolf. Okay. Alright, so we want to go right here. Up these stairs. We don't want to go to 6, so we need to go right here. No, no, I'm wrong. I want to go down there, actually. That's okay. I didn't stray far enough off the path for it to be a problem yet. Ad break starting soon. Oh no! Wait, where am I? Oh, I need to go up here first, then go right, and then go down. Man, there are just a bunch of random dead ends. Ow. They're hitting as hard as we are at these stupid blocks. Of course, we hit them like trucks. Holy crap, they have no defense. But man, did they punch hard. And then far right. I'm glad I looked at the map for this one, because there are so many ways to just go the wrong way. I have to go to the right next to this water up here. Nope. Oh, I see. Ow. Fuck off. Leave Nay alone. Holy shit. They're gonna kill Nay. Tech. Nay, Resta, Nay. Tech, Nay, Resta, Nay. Tech, Ray, Nay, Resta, Nay. I need to heal everyone some amount. She has so much TP though that it's kind of okay. Okay. So this is 3B. I needed to go left, not right. There we go. It is still up next to the water. I just went to the wrong tree. Okay, and here's what we're looking for. Is this tree right here. And now we can just get out of here. Success! Nervous crab man. Damn terracite. If you don't mind, could you be bothered for a cup of sugar? I don't know why. That's what I expect the pug rat to be doing with the way he's saying there. Is he's waiting for a cup of sugar. Uh-huh. Do 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 do. Back to the easy to kill enemies, finally. I have met your friends in Vorin. They gave me a hover scooter. Helicopter, helicopter. You're who I want to bring this gum to. Or this leaf to, so you can make me gum so I can go swimming and go deal with the dams. Hospital, hospital, where is the hospital? I don't remember where the hospital is. That's a save room. Oh, there's a hospital, hospital. There is the hospital. Wow, they're all close to leveling up again. Okay. Alright, let's go back to Paseo. I think I need to recruit someone again. I think. I don't know if that's right. I think there's one more person to recruit. Nope, I'm wrong. Enter what? Make your way to the center tower at Paseo. Okay. Well, let's go to the center tower at Paseo, I guess. Room. No, I didn't mean to. Nay, I need you to put your clothes back on. I know it's my fault, but you need to put those back on right now, young lady. Enter item storage, then exit and repeat until Sheer makes her move upon going back to Rolf's house and retrieving her. Okay? I don't know what this is. This is not something I remember doing, so. She is high enough level, so. Till Sheer makes her move, okay? Oh, it's definitely something I want. It lets me save my game wherever. Okay. What? Sheer is gone. Okay. Make you worry, but I felt the breeze is calling, so I went for a little walk. Well, Rolf, let's get going. And then she has Visiphone. We'll give to Rolf. And the Visiphone lets us save wherever, so that's awesome. Okay. Oh, I've already done all that. Nice. So how does this? It'll just bring me back to the Paseo save point if I load, right? So that's fine. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't mean to minimize that. Whoops. Damn it. No, it put me right where I was standing. Okay. Okay, we need everyone. I already have the. We need to get everyone some stuff, some gear. Yada. Let's see what we can get. I think everyone's good on weapons at this point. Laser knives, yeah. Laser bar, yeah. Laser slasher, yeah. Laser knife, yeah. Okay, so we need armor. She doesn't even have a headpiece. We need silver crowns. Where do we get silver crowns? Let's look through the shops. Okay, so we need... Yeah, perfect. I came to the right spot. Silver crown. Sheer. Yes, silver crown. Anna. What else is available at this point, and who can wield it? Okay. We want some ceramic capes. Oh, wow, these are expensive. Alright, well, let's get Rolf his armor first. Never mind. He needs ceramic chest. Alright, let's get that equipped. Damn, that's a lot more. Here you go, Queen. Ceramic cape. Oh, she's already set up. I don't have to get her anything else. She needs a ceramic cape still. And you need... What's your chest? What's the best chest I can get you? Nothing? I think you're already at your best chest because they don't give me the equipment I need for you. Yep, okay. Okay, cool. So all I need... I mean, that's it then, right? Oh, you need the ceramic cape, right? Okay. So let's go find the pawn shop, sell what we have that we don't need. The second-hand shop, as they call it in this translation. In this translation, I mean. Nope. Oh, I can get him some better shoes, right? What type of shoes can he use? I don't know which boots he can use. You can definitely use something better than shoes, though. I know that. Without a question. Okay. Can I get the last ceramic cape? Do I have the monies for it? I do. Nice. 118 defense. Alright, yeah. So now we have a lot more survivability than we had before. That's nice. Okay. Now we need to get some levels, maybe? What level are we? 15, 30, 14. Yeah, we need to get a couple levels. Not much, though. Oh. Hit the button early. There we go. Oh, yeah, much better. Why is Sheer in defense? I don't know why Sheer was in defense. She has weapons still. We didn't sell any of her weapons. We just gave her better armor. I'm bleeding frames! Why am I bleeding frames? Internet, why have you forsaken me? There we go. Internet's back to full power. I don't know what was going on there. We're back to good. Oh. Oh, we're reaching the 2-hour mark here in a moment. We'll be doing the thing and making the dog happy and taking care of ourselves here in about 10 minutes. So just as a heads up. Oh, I missed out on a Pancham. I don't care about the Talo, but I do care about the Pancham I missed out on. Bum 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 ba-dum bum ba-dum. Ugh. Hello, Mr. Wolfang. Wu Fei. All right. Guys, the internet's doing the thing again. Me is done with their sporting event. All right, guys. So, my internet is starting to do a big fluctuating thing, which normally means there's something going on at the school near me. And so we're gonna go ahead and find our way out of here for now. I'm going to end this stream, but we will be coming back. We'll do another stream after this here in a little while after that sporting event is over. It'll probably be something else. It probably won't be this. But because we are having issues with it, I'm not going to leave us here on this. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother. I'm not gonna bother with raiding out since we'll be back here in a little bit. So the dog's gonna be happy about that, anyways. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a couple hours. In case this doesn't get to you or whatever, just know, love you all. Thank you guys for being part of my evening. Thank you for letting me be part of yours. I'll be seeing in a couple hours, but if not, I understand. Big love, everyone. Bye. Thank you for being so cool today.